Hi there. Thanks for joining me in my Stampin' Piece studio. I'm Mary Nade. Halloween is just around the corner. It's one of those fun, festive holidays that requires very little preparation, but we do want to be ready for greeting our trick-or-treaters. So I've come up with some very easy projects that I think you will enjoy making. They are 3 different treat favors that I think your trick-or-treaters will enjoy. They'd also be cute to set out for your family at the family dinner table on Halloween. What a cute surprise that would be for them. They would also make great favors for a Halloween party or a children's classroom party. In addition, why not surprise your coworkers with a little something on Halloween? The first project we're going to make is this cute little bat box. And I will be showing you how to make that adorable bat using Stampin' Up! Circle punches. The second project we'll make is this sour cream container, perfect for filling with Halloween candies and treats. And the last one is this pocket pouch, I'll call it. You can put pencils, gift cards, candy bars, all kinds of things in it. So stay tuned.
As we get started here, I wanted to mention that all of my projects today feature the Spooky Cat bundle, which includes the photopolymer stamp set, as well as the cat punch, okay? That is the bundle. I won't be using the cat punch today, but really fun and easy to use. If you look at pages 52 and 53 in our holiday catalog, you'll see the Spooky Night product suite. And if you look at the top of the left-hand page, you'll see an adorable banner or garland made with this beautiful cat punch. In addition, I'll be featuring designer series paper from the Spooky Night collection as well. I love this color combination. It's a little bit different than the traditional orange and black. We still have that in pumpkin pie and basic black, but Stampin' Up! Has added Cajun Craze and Very Vanilla as well. So lots of fun colors. Okay, so the first thing we're going to make today is this adorable little bat box, as I call it. Okay, for this we're going to use the Simply Score tool. And to start, I have a piece of 5.5 by 5.5 inch square pumpkin pie cardstock. Okay. And I'm going to, let me double check my measurement here. Yes, I'm going to score at 1 3/4 on all of the sides. Okay, make sure I'm in the screen here. So 1 3/4 on all 4 sides. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. Now we're going to do some trimming with our paper snips. I'm going to cut these vertical score lines just till they meet the horizontal lines, okay? So I'm going to snip right here and right here. I'm going to turn it like this. Okay. Now something that will help your boxes, these end up being the sides, this will be the bottom. Something that can help your boxes go together a little bit more nicely and just fit a little bit better is if you cut out just a little sliver or wedge on these corners, okay? There's just not as much bulk in the fold when you put the box together. Oops. Now for 3D items, I prefer to use either Fast Fuse or Stampin' Up! Tear and Tape. For this one, I'm going to be using Fast Fuse. I'm going to put Fast Fuse on the 4 corners only. My score lines are still facing me because that's the outside of my box. I'm going to flip it over, take those 2 sides and turn them in, okay? And I'm putting together the corners that I put that Fast Fuse on. I'm joining those in the center, and then I'm pulling up the side and just pressing them together, okay? I flip it over and do the very same thing, tucking in those tabs that have the Fast Fuse on and pulling up the outer side tab, okay? And there's my box. Really simple and easy, isn't it? Okay, next I'm going to put a little bit of Fast Fuse on this Designer Series paper. It measures 9 inches by 1 inch. I'm going to start at just one edge, and I'm just going to wrap it, put it in the middle there. And I'm just going to wrap it around the box. You can tape all the way around if you want, but it's really not necessary. And one thing you can do, instead of having your seam right there where it shows, tuck your seam underneath, and then the other edge will meet right at the corner. So it's kind of a neat way to hide your seam and just makes your finished product look a wee bit more finished, polished look, more of a professional look. Now I'm going to use my circle punches as some basic black cardstock. Okay. I have, and again, this is the one we're making. I have a 1.5 inch circle punch. I need this punched twice. And I need 1 3/4 inch circle. Okay. Now using that same 3/4 inch circle punch, I'm going to take those 1.5 inch circles and go in with my punch and punch twice. Okay, you kind of got that moon shape there. I'm going to do it again. I have a bat wing there. Okay. I guess I could have gone in just a wee bit more. Go in about halfway, I'd say. Do the same thing on the other side. And now I've got my back wings. This guy's got some bigger wings than the other one, but it still works perfectly, okay? There's my other one. If you want to make it smaller, all you do is just go back in again, okay? Super simple, okay? So that's what you're left with. Now I'm going to use some glue dots just on the tip of that wing and the inside tip of the other wing. And I'm going to put this together with the head in the middle. This guy's got some very big wings, okay? And there's our big bat, okay? Next, I'm going to put some eyes on there with my rhinestones. One of my favorite tools is my piercing tool. I actually use it for picking up rhinestones and pearls and other embellishments, even more so than I do for piercing holes. So what I do is I just place my finger right there, push up the rhinestone with the tip of my piercing tool, and place it exactly where I want it, okay? Now I'm going to use a Stampin' Dimensional, because you know I use those on almost every project. And I'm just gonna put it on the back of the head, okay? And one will hold it. And I'm just gonna put the bat there at a little angle, and my box is complete. Now what I've done, you can fill it with anything you want actually. So you decide, but I'll show you what I did. I took some Hershey Kisses and just a small cello bag. I stamped "Eat at your own risk" and punched it out with a 1-inch circle. And then I finished off by tying the bag with the black vintage lace trim and the mini black sequin trim. Okay, I'll stick this in the one I just made. Cute, isn't it? Okay. It would even hold like little bouncy balls, that kind of thing, kids' erasers, candy, all kinds of fun things. And wouldn't that be cute sitting if your family came home for dinner on Halloween and these were sitting at everybody's place? I think that would be really, really cute to see. And I think they would be pleasantly surprised. Okay, I'm going to clear my spot and then we will move on to the second project. Okay, so project number 2 for today is making this Halloween sour cream container, which can hold lots of goodies. It really can hold much more candy than you think, so it's a really fun one to use. You're going to start with a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. Again, these patterns are all from the Spooky Night designer series paper. This is going to be my front, my outside of the sour cream container. So I'm going to flip this over, the side with the cats. A lot of people like that as well. I'm going to use tear and tape for this project, and I'm going to place some right along the bottom edge. I love how easily it just tears. And then I'm also going to place some on the right edge. Okay. Now you're simply going to peel off the backings. Okay, this is something I can always do with great ease until I have people watching me, and then it takes me a little longer. Okay, there we go. So the first thing you're going to do is fold the side edges over. So you're going to make a tube basically, okay? And you're going to overlap it just that little bit, just about that 1/4 of an inch, the width of the, about the width of the tearing tape. Don't worry if you're not perfectly straight, it will all be fine. Okay. And then we've got the tape at the bottom of the tubes. Okay, so you got your tube made. Here's our seam. I'll press it together. Okay, and now you're just going to move that seam kind of to the edge, to the left edge, and you're going to press the bottom together. That's the edge where you put more tear tape. Okay, I'm going to press that together. And so now we have a tube that looks like this. Okay, now to get the sour cream shape, we need to press the top edge together, but not in the same direction as the bottom one. We want to do it in the opposite direction of the bottom one. Do you see that? Okay, press this one flat, and then this one was turned. Now, we want to fill it with something, so we don't want to seal it right now. So here's a way you can make these ahead of time, fill them all at the end, and people can also open them and get their treats without just ripping the project apart. So I'm going to use my hole punch. This is one that was on the Stampin' Up! Clearance rack quite a while ago. I don't know if it still is. This one was a little tough because I think I'm hitting that adhesive. So let me try it one more time. There we go. Okay. So, and again, you can still open it to put the treats in. But once your treats are in, this is how we're going to finish it off. I'm using the Very Vanilla ribbon with the gold metallic edge. It is simply beautiful. When I purchased this, I purchased it with the intention of using it for holiday cards because it just looks very elegant and festive. I also thought maybe weddings or bridal showers, anniversaries, that sort of thing. but I never thought of it for a Halloween ribbon, but it works perfectly with this designer series paper because of the very vanilla color in all the patterns. So I'm going to cut approximately 12 inches, and we're going to seal up our end of the tube and tie a bow. So just pull it till it's about even, and then I'm ready to tie the bow. One thing I want to say about bows, because so many of my customers get frustrated. They can't make their bows like I can, etc., or it takes them longer, or it doesn't lay straight, things like that. First of all, remember, none of us are perfect, and none of our bows are perfect. But my advice to you is, when you do it, either leave it on the roll. Now this project is a little bit harder, but you can leave it on the roll, or just make sure that you cut off enough. Maybe tie a very loose bow before you cut it off the bolt, and then you'll see if you have enough length, too much, or not enough. Because when you cut the ribbon and it's too short, and you're trying to make a bow with a piece of ribbon that's too short, you're going to be frustrated. The ribbon isn't going to turn out, or the bow isn't going to turn out the way you want it to. And then you'll start over, wasting more ribbon. So you don't want that. The other piece of advice I have is make sure it's long enough, because you want to be able to move your tails and your loops. That's what helps you give it the size you want. I can make a small bow, or I can pull those loops more and make it a bigger bow. And when I have pretty much where I want it, then I grasp both the front and back of the loop and pull it tight so it stays secure. And the last thing you want to do is, again, clean up those edges. And I like to trim ribbon at an angle. Whoops, I think I snagged it there. My scissor snips need lots of sharpening after 9 years of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and hosting card classes and stamp classes. So I should get on that and find somebody in the area to do that for me. So there you have it. Okay, now I'm going to make this cute little tag. We need to do some stamping today, of course. I am going to pull out my stamp mat. This is especially important when you are using photopolymer sets. You need that extra little cushion, that give. Okay, so I'm using basic black ink. I have to make sure my stamp is going the right direction so I can read it. I'm going to stamp there. And then I'm going to use the Everyday Label Punch to punch this out. Okay, and you can see, you can line up those rounded sides with the middle of the stamped image. Okay. And then I'm going to use the pumpkin pie ink and stamp Trick or Treat in that open center. Okay, tap, tap, tap. Remember, you don't want to press hard. Just tap, tap, tap. And you can see I'm not getting ink all over the block. It's only on the stamp where I want it. I'll line it up here, press firmly, and lift off. Perfect. Okay, and before I put this on my treat favor, I'm going to add one of my favorite new embellishments, the black rhinestone jewels. So I think I'm going to use this small size, and again, I'm using my piercing tool, a great $4 tool if you don't have one. And then I get those rhinestones exactly where I want them. And then lastly, I will use a couple dimensionals to put this on the front of the sour cream container. Ooh, and I think that looks really cute. How about you? Okay, do you like it too? Okay, there you go. We finished up this one, and I've got one more to show you. Okay, our third treat favor project is the pocket pouch. Okay, and it also starts with a 6x6 piece of cardstock. I'm using basic black, and again it's 6x6, and I'm going to score that, show them in the frame here, I'm going to score that at 2 3/4, and I'm going to score it at 5 1/2, and then I'm going to turn it once and score at 1/2 inch. So I have that 1/2 inch border along the bottom. I've scored it 2 3/4 vertically and 5 1/2 vertically. Okay. Now I'm going to cut away some of these edges. And I know this is hard to see in the black, okay? But I will have, once I trim away these couple edges, you'll be able to see how it should be. Okay, so I trimmed away that corner. And I'm going to trim away this flap, okay? And get rid of that. So this is what I have now. And this is how your pocket is going to go together. Okay, you see that? So here's what you have after cutting the bottom left edge and the right bottom corner off. Okay, and I'm going to use tear and tape for this project. I'm going to go along these flaps, and I want to put the tear tape as close as I can to the score line, but not on the score line. Okay. And on the small flap as well. Okay. And if you rub your finger over this backing, it does make it a little bit easier for that backing to pull up. Maybe I didn't do that well enough when I was using the tear and tape earlier in the video. Okay, so flip it over, and I'm going to fold these edges in, the tabs with the adhesive in, and then fold the other side over. And that's you have it. And it doesn't really matter which is front or back. Turns out the same. Now I have a 3" by 6" piece of designer series paper. I think this is probably my very favorite pattern out of the whole package. Just love it. So I'm going to use a little snail. And I'm just going to put a little snail on each end, okay? I'm not going to press it down yet, because you know what I'm going to say most likely is that I like that seam to be hidden on the side. So you're just going to wrap this around, okay? And because I did not press that seam down securely just yet, I am able to pick it up, fold this one over, and it will adhere to the black pocket pouch, and then that seam, and the seam is hidden right there on the edge, okay? So you don't see any ugly side or ugly seam, okay? Now I have a piece of black, I'm going to call it black shimmer ribbon or black glimmer ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a simple knot. Okay, and you can slide this either way. If you want it in the middle, to the left, to the right, you just slide it. Or you can have it at the top or at the bottom. I think I'll put this one at the top. I'll do this one just a wee bit differently than I did the first one, okay? Going to trim the edges of my ribbon because again, that gives you a polished, finished look, much more professional looking. Those small details really do make a difference in the quality and craftsmanship of your work. Okay, now I want to make a label, and I see that I forgot my very vanilla cardstock. Okay, I'm going to set these aside. I am going to use my Stampin' mat again. Okay, I'll be using or cutting out the label with the Everyday Label punch. But I want to show you how I made this tag. Okay, it's got that diagonal pumpkin pie background. That's actually one of the stamps in the Spooky Cat stamp set. So what I'm going to do is simply ink the stamp set, or stamp I should say, and I'm going to quickly just stamp a diagonal pattern. And I think that should pretty much do it. And then I'm going to use basic black to stamp Trick or Treat. Okay. And then I'm going to punch it out. Just like that. Okay. My Trick or Treat didn't come out so dark. It's probably time to re-ink my ink pad, but I'm just going to try and go over it. That's the beauty of, there you go. That's the beauty of those photopolymer stamps, is that you can see right through them. I'm going to leave that one open so I remember to re-ink it. And finally, once again, I'm adding some embellishments, the black rhinestone jewels. Can't say there was any rhyme or reason to how I put these on the tag, but it just was something very different. So I've got a row of 3 at the bottom underneath Treat, and I'm putting a row of 3 at the top above the word Trick. These are awesome. They are $5, which is a great price for these embellishments, and you can do lots of fun things with them. And it's amazing how something so small adds so much extra to your projects. And finally, a couple of dimensionals. And I'm going to add this to the front of my treat pouch. And I think I'm going to do this one at an angle so it doesn't cover up that big jack-o'-lantern face. I'm going to put him up a little higher. Okay, so I have a slight variation from the one I first made. Okay, so how about if I bring these other projects back so you can take one last look. I'll put that one like this, and I'll turn this one up this way so you can see the bat. Okay, now one final surprise. You can get a free PDF tutorial of these projects so that you have them to refer to in the future. You can make these for any occasion, any holiday. So I want you to have the directions in the PDF to keep. So if you place an order, any size order, between now and midnight on October 31st, the end of Halloween, I will email you the PDF tutorial absolutely free. So consider that. The holiday catalog is filled with wonderful, wonderful products, and many of them are ones you can use well into the new year after the holidays. So again, if you place a $50 order or more, or I'm sorry, if you place any size order online using my October host code, I will email you the PDF tutorial for these projects. When you place your order, please do not choose do not contact. I will not add you to my email list or my customer base or anything like that without your permission. But if you click on that, saying do not contact, Stampin' Up! Will not send me your name and email, and I won't be able to contact you to send you the free tutorial. So have a great day. Enjoy Halloween. I hope you get lots of trick-or-treaters, lots of treats, no tricks. Have a great week. Bye-bye.